One of the saddest things I see in my office is when a couple comes in and they're obviously trying to do one last ditch effort before they file for divorce. And the husband acts totally dumbfounded. He acts confused. He acts like he has no idea what went wrong in his marriage or why he's at therapy. This is very common with a syndrome called Walkaway Wife Syndrome. It's a real syndrome. The American Association of Sociology has said that more than 2/3 of all women and 90% of educated women suffer from this syndrome and are the initiators when it comes to a divorce. That means that when a couple is divorcing, there's 2/3 of a likelihood that the woman initiated it. And if they're college educated, 90% chance that she initiated it when they're struggling from this syndrome. What is this syndrome? This syndrome is when early in the relationship, the woman starts taking responsibility for the relationship. She makes the plans, she's the social calendar, she takes care of, if they have children, she takes care of kids, all the duties, finances, when, vacations, you name it, she's doing it. In an essential way, she is in this relationship by herself, and her husband lets her. The big problem with this is they're not connected emotionally. So she wants that connection. She begins getting, naggy. She begins criticizing him. She begins getting angry, complaining. And him, rather than saying, what's going on with you? Like, why are you doing this? He tries to tune it out because he doesn't like it. And he's very effective at tuning it out until the day when she says, sometimes she doesn't even say, she just leaves. With wives who really are quiet, they just seethe inside, and they're the ones that are most likely not to say anything. They just leave in the middle of the night or whatever. It's walk away. Now, do I think this is a wise choice? No, I think it's a terrible choice. I think couples need to talk and communicate. But it does happen, and lawyers make money off of it, and I see a lot of clients with it, and I make money with it as well, because the husband is usually left dumbfounded, confused, and not having any idea what happened. Now, you may say, well, then he deserved it if he was that clueless. Well, not always, because it takes two. And unless you communicate with your partner what's going on, unless you're connected, unless you're being curious, then it takes both of you. And if one person isn't doing their part, you can't blame it all on the other one. So let's just go through this. If you're on this verge in your own relationship, what can you do, or what should you do to prevent it before it happens? Number one, if you're the wife suffering from this, before you divorce, I want you to invest in counseling. This is very important, especially if you have kids, because with kids are the biggest losers in divorce. And divorce is a temporary thing. You might think it's a great answer, and it is in the case of abuse, but with this is different, because if you leave this person, you're going to parent with this person, and this person is going to be with you throughout life, just not married to you. And it's going to really, if it drives you crazy now and you don't know how to communicate, imagine how it's going to be with all those special events your child has to go through. So reconsider that and get help. Secondly, husbands, you need to prioritize your wife. You promised to honor, cherish, and serve. This is your chance. Step up to the plate. Start getting curious about them. Start taking them out. Start putting them before your work or anything else going on in your life. Thirdly, it's really important that you guys understand if there's no sex in the relationship, 90% of the time, it's because there's no emotional connection. It's hard to have sex with somebody that you don't even know who they are or you're not connected with them. It's very important that you start the emotional connection so that you can improve your sex life. How do you do that? You start talking to them. You start taking them out. You start spending time with them. You start asking them how they feel. You start saying, how can I love you better? What can I do? And lastly, talk about your expectations. You each came into this marriage with expectations, and some of those were mythical and some of them were not. Lay them out on the table. What do you expect from your partner? What do you want from your partner? And what do you have to get rid of? That was a lofty expectation and it's not helpful for your relationship. Counseling can help with all of these, but the first step is the two of you walking toward each other instead of out the door.